D.
I'm Shar, and you are tuning in to Homeroom with Smooth. Class is now in session.
Hey y'all, this is Homeroom with Smooth, episode number 175. All right, we're here to talk about what is a classic album. All right, what to y'all is a classic album?
What
That,
defines a
that
classic album?
yeah.
I'll answer this.
Okay, go ahead.
So to me, a classic album is literally a timeless album. Like it's something like if they came out, there are songs and albums that came out 20 years ago that I can still listen to today, and it still like hits me in my soul.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think classic albums are a lot of the songs on classic albums are being used in a lot of the songs today. Like they're, you'll hear a song, you'll be like, oh, wait a minute, I heard that song before. Like I think that defines a classic album. Also, is it's being they're being sampled over and over and over again.
Okay, my brother.
All right. What defines a classic album to me is I have to agree with Shaw on that one. It's timeless, but to me, another part of it is like if it can bring you back to a time where everything was good. And I like to say, like, what do I call those things? Core memories. If it can unlock a core memory or be stapled as one, that defines to me like a classic album. Like, if you can remember listening to this, oh man, I remember when I listened to this album when I'm like, yeah, that's definitely a classic album I could just go back to all the time.
Yeah. So for me, like for instance, like I this is kind of tough because I I I agree with everything y'all said, but then I also want to add the criteria of I think you don't know what a classic album is till you wait a while. Like you have to give it some time.
Like
And I think the issue that I find now is that
Yeah.
there's so much music coming out. I don't even know what albums to listen to like that are old. Like I don't even know what to pull from. Like there's too much back there. There's too much. Like when you look at all the music that dropped 2020. Well, I mean, you can go back starting. I think they started oversaturating us in like 1819. Like 1819, they really just the labels just stopped caring and just was like, oh, we just gonna throw everything up against the wall. Well, you had like 2018. I what dropped besides like because I remember 2017 because that's when J. Cole dropped KOD and I went to Rolling Loud, but I don't remember 18 because 18 what was that? Scorpion, one of the Mac Millers, and something else. Maybe did Kendrick drop in 2018? But see, my point is like I shouldn't have to do that. Like when you go for like 19, 20, 21, I can't tell you what dropped. Heck, even if I go back earlier this year, I don't know half the things that dropped. People are like, did you listen to this? No. When am I even gonna have the time to?
True.
But I do believe yes that there are standout songs. I mean standout albums, but at the same time, I think there are more standout records. I think we're in more of a song based economy. Like your song can be really good. Like for instance, like that album, what is that? Indigo, the one with the Under the Influence is on. I think it's Indigo. Like
Yeah.
that album is actually that's one of the few albums like, and it's a lot of songs. I listened to the whole thing. I said, "Yo, this is a really good album." I went to see him live, perform it live, and I was like, "Under the Influence" is a bomb record. I'm like, "This is gonna go," but it never picked up, and then all of a sudden now. Everybody, I don't know what you did. Like everybody being that way.
Yeah, that song blew like it's very weird to me because well, I remember the dance routine came out to that song. I think that was during the pandemic. And then
Yeah.
that's when I got introduced to the song. I didn't know it had been out a few years before then. But
Yeah.
then now recently, all of a sudden TikTok made it go viral again. It's very strange.
Just a tad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, general, like, let's try and establish some general criteria for what makes a classic album. Like just some general criteria, right?
Right.
Because just being a remembered album doesn't mean like it's a classic album. So, like for instance, like
Hmm.
I guess we gotta get into like examples of like different
Ooh, I
albums.
got one. I got one.
Yeah, so go ahead. I'm gonna let you go.
My favorite classic album
Uh-huh.
all time that I can listen to every single day of my life is
Okay.
The Education of Lauryn Hill. I can
Um,
listen to
Okay.
that
Okay.
album never, ever, ever. I never get tired of it, ever. And every time I listen to it, and I've been listening to this damn album since I was like 9. Every time
Mm-hmm.
I listen to it, I hear something I didn't hear the last 100 times I listened to it.
Yeah, I can't even disagree with you on that one. That one is there. Okay, so since are we all in agreement that's a classic album, right?
100%.
Okay, cool. So let's get into what makes this a classic album. Like what really like resonates with you guys to make you guys agree that it's what will make us agree that it's a classic? 'Cause I agree.
So like when I listen to that album, there's a lot of relatable things. So
Mm-hmm.
um like there's certain parts in the song which you should be talking about getting her hair done. Like I can relate to that as a young black kid. Or just talking
Mm-hmm.
about certain foods and school. Like there's certain things like you listen to and take and back to what the point that you have brought up
Mm-hmm.
about like taking you back to a place that you remember. Like when I listen, it feels like home. Something about that album like feels like home to me. But also like um I guess back I don't know if I don't know if neo soul was really like a category when it first came out, but if I had to, put it in like one of the top five, because I guess Lauryn Hill's neo soul, right? You would say she's neo soul, kind of, sort of. If I had to define like a top five neo soul album, I would have to say she's like in the top five. And so I feel like it kind of set the pavement for a lot of other neo soul artists. Um, yeah, like I really do think that Lauryn Hill opened up like a lot of doors for a lot of female neo soul artists.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Bro.
And to be honest with you, yeah, I like it does feel like a home album because once again, it's what I talked about earlier about like the core memories because it became a classic album to me because I think when that album came out, I think I was like in elementary school. And I know my mom was obsessed with that album to the
Yes.
point where I played Zion and Looking Back
Yeah.
and That Thing and Doo Wop. Yeah,
Yes.
Doo Wop. Yeah. And the X Factor. And I was like, damn, my mom keeps playing this damn album. Because as a kid, she's like, oh, it's just noise, old people. I don't get that. But it's something about that album that's just like, damn, this shit was actually kind of a low key banger. And every single time, it just brings me back to home, which in the DMV and stuff, because my mom would just play that shit every time she's going to go pay bills or she's got to go to the mall. She'll play
Yeah.
that album every single time. And to the point
Mm.
right now, that album plays in the kitchen and somebody in my job plays that album. They skip a song. I'm like, you want to get fired?
Yeah.
Yeah, go back to the damn song.
Right.
Yeah, it's a classic for me too because like it is she is definitely you're right she is neo soul
Mhm.
because I think her Angie Stone, Jill Scott, and a handful of other folks is like in that same realm. So oh yeah,
Mhm.
poetry too. They're like in that same like genre of neo soul and yeah, when she came out, she did set the pavement because Lauryn Hill walked, so Jill Scott, Erica Badu, and the rest of them can run. So just saying.
Yeah, I will agree. I will wholeheartedly agree because what came after her, what like you had like Music Soul Child too, like it was just like that. That whole era was nice. That was a good
That's a
time to
good
be
time for
black.
music.
That was a good time to be black. Like I felt like the neighborhood
Yeah.
was
Damn.
happy. The neighborhood was happy. We had happier music, man, and
Yeah.
man, and I don't want to devolve into like that other conversation where like, oh, our music is now blah blah blah. But
Yeah, that's a whole different branch right there,
yeah,
bro.
that's a whole different branch. But Also, yeah, I would agree with both of y'all. Like y'all took the word right out of my mouth. Like it makes you feel, like so good. Like that album, you can't tell me you're upset and then you listen to the album and then you're done and you're still mad. Like nah, like you happy.
Yeah.
You singing them records. You every single last one of them.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes to your point of like sampling, because the records off there, like mad records have been sampled.
Yep.
Like even stuff I didn't know was a sample off that album. Like you go look, you're like, is that the
Mm-hmm.
what in the like
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, like everything. Because people are trying to recreate that feeling. Um but let me think. So okay, like another album, let's see. All right. So do you think somebody can have like more than one classic album in their discography? Because like when I think of like uh let's say like Lil Wayne, right? Like I'm like Carter 2 and 3. It might be like his best back to back like body of work.
Mm-hmm.
Like to do that back to back, and
Yeah.
then not to it's just I don't know, when I think about Carter 2 and Carter 3 I get happy because like I immediately remember sitting at the bus stop, everybody like it's playing this, everybody like we put the CD in the little radio box, you know what I'm saying, little radio thing, like because it wasn't a boom box, it was a little radio thing, you put the CD in, you close it, everybody like you make sure don't nobody don't kick it, don't walk by it, don't do nothing, you know what I'm saying, like somebody else has spare batteries if it dies, you know what I'm saying, and you just running them records and everybody just rapping at the bus stop, you know what I'm saying, like word for word, everybody word for word.
Right.
Yeah.
What we know about a lollipop?
Not everything. Apparently, for horny ass teenagers, they ain't know
Right.
nothing yet.
Shawty want a thug, like what
Yeah. Lil Wayne was like, man,
Mm-hmm.
my freshman year of college, Lil Wayne was, oh my gosh, he was singing like the soundtrack of my life.
yeah.
Lil Wayne was popping. He was on everybody's songs. I swear that man was featured on every like song back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. That's
Yeah.
before he started going in like a different direction. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before he started getting in the truck fit and shit, I was just like, all right,
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah.
Wayne, we're good here.
Right, man.
I agree with you on like the Carter 2 and Carter 3. I said on my Twitter, I was like, look, once he made the Carter 2 and Carter 3, I swear Wayne went Super Saiyan because there was not one song, one remix, one freestyle. If he didn't put his, you want to hear that lighter flick? It's curtains. You might as well just say that's his
Yeah.
song. By him.
Hey, because the oh my god, because after that, what was it? It was No Ceilings. Like No
Yeah,
Ceilings was one of the mixtapes. Yeah, that was the mixtape. Like after that, like because that was the same year he dropped Carter 4. But Carter 4 was cool,
yeah.
but No Ceilings was like a different league. Like I'm like, what bag are you in? Like,
I don't.
sorry for the wait. I'm like, what bag are you in? Whose man's is this? Come
Not to
get
mention
him.
dedication in the drought series. I was like, well,
Yeah,
Wayne made more damn episodes of the Carter series and all of that than Dragon Ball Z. That's what it felt like.
bro.
Yeah, I'm
But
looking at the song list right now on Carter 3 because I forgot. But Millie, that song right
Yeah,
there, that song has been sampled so much.
bro.
uh, my
There are
God.
so many samples off of a Millie, still to this day.
Man,
So,
mhm.
like, sorry, I'm sorry.
No. You good. You good.
So to circle back to your question, can somebody have back-to-back classics in their discography? Like, I definitely have to agree with that because I'm not gonna lie to you. When Lil Wayne was starting to get hot on the scene with the Carter 2, Carter 3, and et cetera, my stepfather played the hell out of them songs, and I was like, "Look, can you listen to like somebody else, please? Like, ain't nothing worse than you like having a nice Saturday night sleep, and all you hear is a milli, a milli." I'm like, nigga, no.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my classic person was Taleb Kweli, because when he made
Mm-hmm.
Quality,
Mm-hmm.
and then he made A Beautiful
Yeah.
Struggle, and then he made like Eardrum, and then like every album after that, I was just like, yo, because if it wasn't like, because everything I liked about Talib Kweli, whatever album that he's writing on about at that time period, it because of like something he made quality because of just like breaking out, being a black artist, and then he made A Beautiful Struggle. He was talking about the black experience, man and women, and the fact that he had a daughter too, and
Mhm.
he had daughters too, and he was like talking about things that relates to them and the whole black experience. And I was like back to back to back to back. And most def, I felt the same way even before he had his sabbatical and his Christian, his not Christian, his spiritual like turmoil and upbringing and stuff too. He
Mhm.
definitely, I feel like he had back to back albums that was classics as well, because there are folks who are studying both their albums and a couple other stuff in like colleges. I'm like, wait a minute, I actually have that album, and yeah, it was everything that y'all are studying and saying it was. So
Yep.
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
know your shit is good when it's going in college and it's being studied.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's facts. That's facts. That's 100% facts.
Back. Okay.
When you were
Okay.
talking about that and your dad listening to it, it reminded me of
Mhm.
50 Cent. 50 Cent when he came out with
Yeah,
whatever the
If
album
it's
is,
about time,
It's Your
it's not
Birthday. My dad loved that song and would play it on repeat in the car.
bro. That album is a banger. Like
Yeah.
that has so many hits on it. Like it's not even Candy Shop, Window Shopping.
Yes.
Uh, what's the heck? The one you were just saying, Birthday. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
in the
In the club. Remember
In the club,
You can find me in the
in the
club.
club plays. In the club has played every year in the club since it's dropped. There's
Yeah.
listen.
not been a time I've been in the club and not heard In the Club.
Oh my god, what was another one? Wankster went crazy. He
Who?
Wankster. If you ain't no
Oh,
gangster,
Wankster, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, forget
yeah.
about that one.
Yeah,
like,
Wankster.
mm-hmm.
Oh, so
Yeah.
many bangers.
Everybody kept saying that shit. Damn, homie, in high school you was the
You was
man.
the man, homie. Every time. Every time, man.
That was dead. That was definitely another classic too. Because I was just telling somebody like, look, I was a very much a middle school kid talking about some damn homie high school. I'm like, they,
Okay. All right. So I want to do something I want to do something real quick, real quick, boss. Just like really fast. This is just straight yes or no question. Then we'll get back to the normal discussion. Because I just thought about this. Like, so real quick, I'm gonna give y'all just artist names, and
Okay.
you just tell me if they have a classic. You just tell me if they have a classic. All right, we'll get
okay.
into what their classics are and all that later. But first one, just right off the bat, Beyonce.
She has so many classic albums. Oh my gosh. So many.
Yeah.
Jesus. I will tell you though, one of her favorite albums. Hold on, I gotta pull it up because
Wait. It was just supposed to be yes or no. Like, does the
oh, you just went to one.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'll take
that's why
That's fine.
I had the prerequisite with that because I know like people like immediately you go, oh my god, yeah. Trust me, I felt the same way when I thought about this idea.
yeah, no, yes, I agree.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's go. J. Cole.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a
Yes.
huge J. Cole fan. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Kendrick.
Yes.
I'm not really the biggest Kendrick fan, but I know a lot of people who love a lot of his albums. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So we'll get back to him. We'll get back to Kendrick. Uh let's see. Jay-Z.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Kanye.
Yes. Yes.
Man, college dropout,
Yeah.
home
Yeah.
man.
Uh,
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Hey. It's okay. It's okay.
ah.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. Drake,
Yeah.
Yes.
Big Sean,
Yes.
Yeah. Big Sean is, yeah.
Yeah.
Meek Mill.
No.
I
No.
haven't
Well.
I, I
A
haven't really
classic
listened to
album. We're
all
talking
of
about
it.
a classic album.
Just one? Yeah, just one.
I guess the
Wait,
one with the Philly song. Hold on, wait a minute. Yep.
so that whole album, that album is a
The
classic.
Philly
I
anthem.
haven't listened to the whole album all the way through. I believe you though.
No, see that. Okay. We got something here. All right, we got something here. All right. So then we got to go with I'm trying to think of more people that we've all listened to because I don't want to get to list of people.
Well,
But
let's
okay,
take
like
it.
Frank Ocean.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
100%. Yes.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. 100%.
I think I already said Jay-Z.
But wait, we gotta go even further back. Michael Jackson.
I
Yes.
know, no. So listen, here's what I don't do. Okay, I'm not gonna put legends in this conversation. Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
he's not. He's in a league of his own. Bruh has the longest run of just straight bangers on any album
Okay.
ever. Like I think that Thriller album is like nothing but bangers. Nothing. He could have picked anything as a lead single, anything. But you know what I'm saying? So like him, so you got what? Like you got what? Stevie Wonder, Prince, Michael
Whitney
Jackson,
Houston.
Janet Jackson. Like you got
Whitney
all of
Houston. Yeah.
Whitney Houston, like you got
Mhm.
all them. We not dissing them, we just gonna sit them to the side.
Okay.
They made it. They're already there. They crossed the finish
Okay.
line and they popping champagne. They did it. They did it already. Um so then we got because my main concern is that like kind of sort of the newer acts or whatever. Like, can y'all think of anybody else I left out?
Newer.
Yeah, like
Okay,
newer ish. Like so from I want to say like the artist started in like
Oh,
05 and like 05 like 2004 like 2004 because there's a difference like
Ooh,
90s albums are 9 times out of 10 if somebody dropped an album in the 90s it's
hmm
probably a classic album like
you're right.
I
just
gotta put
probably because
I
they
gotta put one
took
out
the
there.
art right serious
I
huh.
gotta put one out there because this is another album I listen to over and over again. Ari
Mhm.
Lennox.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, okay
Yeah.
all right scissor
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah
Absolutely.
control is nasty.
Yeah.
Control is
I guess
nasty.
Chris,
Summer Walker too.
yeah.
Yeah, summer's cold. What is that? I'm trying to think. What's that girl name? What's that girl name? It just dang it left me. It came
Janae
to me. Huh?
Aiko.
Oh,
Janae,
Janae is
yeah,
100% hands down. Yes.
Janae got bangers. Like people,
Oh, you know.
all these girls are really like. Look, you got to look at the YouTube era of Janae, right? She inspired all these girls. Like
Yeah.
all of them. Like all of these girls are either an offshoot of Janae, Rihanna, or Beyonce.
Yeah.
That's it. Them the three. They're either because if you go back on any of them and you look and you listen to them and then you go listen to the other person, that them's their inspiration. Just
Yeah.
Beyonce,
Yeah.
Janae Aiko, and Rihanna. That's it.
hmm You know who we forgot to mention? Future.
Ooh,
Future.
Future.
Ah,
yeah.
Future has so many. Man,
Dirty
oh, I'm
Sprite
not a
too.
fan of his newer shit, but his shit in '05 or man, the early 2000s.
Oh,
Dirt,
when he was
dirt,
doing like Tony Montana, and
Dirty
like
Sprite 2 is
Oh
nasty.
my gosh. Yes.
yeah,
Dirty Sprite 2 is nasty.
yeah, Migos, Lupe Fiasco.
Definitely Migos,
Uh,
yeah.
who else? Common
Yeah.
been
Oh
around for
yeah,
a very
comment for sure.
so. Who else? I gotta give it to Crit because one of my best friends put me on the Crit, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big Crit always get left out the conversation, but he
I
nasty.
don't know
he
why.
does. He does. Yeah.
Oh, what's that dude name? Bro, we was talking about him. He had just dropped the album recently. It's really good. Joey Badass.
Yeah,
I
I
am
didn't
so
listen to Joey Badass, huh?
look, that last album he put out, I am so mad that he didn't get a nomination for it.
And you know
oh,
he's
That
been around
last
for a long
album was
time too.
nasty. He
2000.
should have got a rap album of the year nom. At least a nom. He didn't have to win.
And you know he's been around for like a long time too.
Nah, seriously, for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like man has some lineage.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Who's another one?
Another artist. Mm, mm.
I
Look,
gotta give Logic too because he's been around for a long time too.
Oh yeah, I heard Logic.
Logic. I think the album that I go back to for Logic is the one where he's in space
That's the one I was
on the
just thinking
computer.
of. I
That's
was just
the
thinking.
one
Ooh,
with
okay, okay.
Gar. I think it's something in the sky, whatever that song is, and it's like really long, and all of a sudden he just starts rapping at the end, and he's just going off. Like I was like, yo, like that was the record I heard, and I said, yo, you know what? You got it, Logic. I'm like, you got it. Matter of
Wait,
fact,
we can't forget my girl Cardi B. Cardi
Yeah,
B.
no.
I
Well,
cannot not give.
okay, no,
Yeah,
no, yet, not no, not yet. She only has one, and that's a problem that I have. She only has
I mean, she
one.
has some mixtapes too, though, that are
No,
some bangers.
but it's one. It's one. She's only done it once. But I guess you could say the same thing about Lauren Hill, but there's more
Yeah,
time between Lauren Hill and
that's
now. Oh
true.
my god, I'm hot.
Yeah.
Gotta
you
turn
know
on this
what?
fan. But yeah, I think with and look, I'm not taking anything from that album. That album is heat.
I mean, it came out
Like,
4 years ago, so it kind of has some time on it, kind of.
but not enough yet. Like I at least want to wait like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
I want to give it like some breathing room
Well, I
because
mean, I guess Ari doesn't really count either because how long has Shea Butter Baby been out?
Shit, that shit been out for a break.
Has it?
man,
Yeah, it's been out for a good.
um,
I know I
let
was
me
still
see.
stationed and I was in a.
I think it was I think it's 17.
It says 2019. It came out in
19.
2019. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good album, but I guess yeah, we do got to take that back. I guess we do got to take that back
Okay.
because that's my thing. Like there's lots of people like even Black, for instance, like drops great albums. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he does great work, but there's not enough time on it. Like because I think fondly of it right now, but I want to know if you know what I'm saying when we're down the road and you're talking like you're now like 5, you know what I'm saying? You're now 5, 6 years away from that album. Like, are you even thinking about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Because there's certain albums, like for instance, like you take like 2014 Forest Hills Drive, you got Good Kid, Mad City, you got
Yeah.
Take Care. Them type of albums, like
Take Care is like one of my top 10 favorite albums. I love that album.
All time. Yeah.
when
And I
you
saw him like in concert when he came out with that album, and it was the most one
I'm
of the
so
most
mad. I still have
feeling.
not seen Drake in concert. And
Oh
that's
my
my
god.
favorite artist. And I have not. I've seen everybody else.
This was like 2011 in Nashville. I saw him in concert. The shit was
Damn.
lit.
I believe it. Everybody was singing everything because that's
Yeah.
how it was back then. I remember, look, this is how I knew that album was gold. Bro, the club, like normally you playing like popping stuff, you know what I'm saying? Folks
Yeah.
get turned up. They playing Marvin's Room, they playing Real Her, they playing all the slow stuff, and everybody's just singing it. That's it. It was surreal. Everybody's just singing everything word for word. Like
Right.
the DJ damn near just played the whole album just straight and everybody was just everything.
There you go.
Nobody was missing a thing. Loving the crew love, shy for me, like all of that. Like everybody was just vibing. Like it was kind of weird. It was a surreal time.
Real
Yeah.
quick disclaimer. If if my phone cuts off, it's because I'm at like a low battery. So I just want to let you know, like I didn't sign off because I hate this, because I love this. I just have didn't think in advance. I didn't think in advance to take my goddamn charger with me. So my apologies.
Oh shoot, it's all good, bro. Dang, it's all good. But real quick, I do want to double back to Kent to Meek, right? Because we kind of all yep, here you go. He went. right on schedule.
Right.
Um I do want to kind of double back because I feel like wow, this is the first time the background's been black. I've never got it to do this, and I've been wanting it to do this for forever. Anyway, sorry, I have the attention span of like a small squirrel. So with Meek Mill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that album not in the same conversation as all everybody else's album. You know what I'm saying? And then is there some type of like criteria of like ranking albums, like bumping them against each other? Because I kind of do that. Like if I'm looking at another classic album and I go, okay, this is Take Care. This is
Yeah.
2014 Forest Hill Drive. If I put that album up there next to it, I shouldn't even like go, nah. Like I shouldn't have to think about it. You know what I mean?
So, okay, I think this is at least my logic, and I heard
Hmm.
somebody else mention this. So, 'cause like we grew up in the South, and I went to
Yeah,
a Southern school. I went to a Southern college, and
yeah.
so naturally, we weren't listening to Meek Mill like that, and so I wasn't like nothing. Nothing made me want to listen to his album like that. You know what I'm saying? I know this song is a classic song, but like it wasn't
Hmm.
nothing about the album or Meek Mill in general. Was like, oh, I want to listen to Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Hmm.
so for me personally, that's the reason why. Um, I don't really outside of Philly people. I don't know too many people that are Meek Mill fans outside of Philly people. I don't.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah. It's one of those things where like I'm looking at the track listing for the album, right?
Hmm.
Right. So it's Dreams and Nightmares is on there. Then you got what Young and Getting It with Kurt Cobain's. You got what Traumatized. You got Believe It with Rick Ross. You got Amen with Drake. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
I forgot
Then you
about that
got
song.
yeah, you got I'm trying to think who. Hold on, I might just hold on. Let's see. What is this?
So there's a lot of songs that made it to the radio, but is what you're saying from that album.
I mean, nah. Well, the only ones that made it to the radio was Burn with Big Sean. So that's this one.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. This one that made it. Then you got let's see, but no, I don't think this made. Yeah, it did. It made it to the club. It made it to the club. It made it to the club. I remember that. That did go in the club. It was on the twerk side of the playlist. It was on the twerk side of the playlist. Let's see, what is this? No, that did not. No, that did
You
not.
remember that song? I think this is Meek Mill. I can hear the song in my head. Dang
Mm.
it! It goes dun, 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 dun. It's some real bitches in the building, church or something like. You know what I'm talking about?
Church. You talk-
Yeah,
that's the one with Drake. That's Amen.
yeah, I love that song.
But that's it though. We only listed Dreams and Nightmares. Believe It with
Yeah, I remember
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That Believe It, Amen, and then Burn and Freak Show. That's it. Everything else ain't getting played. Like that can't be a classic album. Like, and that's part of my thing though. Like my thing,
Yeah.
a lot of these songs I would skip them if that album came on right now and I'm in somebody's crib. I'm like, yo, skip that. Like, like if this comes on, skip this.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have tried to listen to Meek Mill's albums. It just doesn't. They don't do it. They don't do it for me. I don't know. Besides the ones that make it to the radio, but like all the songs, it just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. And he's the type of person he'll give you about 19 songs the album. And I'm
Yeah,
like, I can't get with it. Not everything, like, and to call it a classic album, like
yeah, I
and
agree.
then okay, so for let's see, for Big Sean, what would you say his classic
Oh
album is?
man, Big
Did this
Sean.
ma-
First of all, I love the last two albums that Big Sean came out with. Like his most recent two, both
mm-hmm.
of them albums is hidden.
Oh, Detroit 2 and Double or
Yes,
Nothing? Or are you talking about I Decided?
no, both of the. Hold on, I'm looking at his catalog right now.
Because I know Dark Sky Paradise. Dark Sky's Paradise. He went way too crazy on Dark Sky's Paradise. Because you got blessings, you
Yeah,
got
I
all
like
your fault,
Detroit and
you
Detroit
got
too.
I don't fuck with you, you got play no games with Chris
Yeah.
Brown, you got the Paradise, you got I know with Janae Aiko, you got Deep with Lil Wayne, you got research with Ariana Grande. The
Yeah.
the crazy thing is this man got Janae Aiko and Ariana Grande on the same album and piped them both.
Yeah, I gotta say, Detroit 2 is like my top favorite Big Sean album. That album, you listen to that album is insane. You listen to like the like the it's just everything about that album does it for me. And it's one of them albums like every time you listen to it, it gets better and better.
Yeah,
And that's how I feel. That's also how I feel about J. Cole's King of Diamonds. That album there, oh my gosh.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it
That album, man, that album don't get enough credit, but
doesn't. It does not.
that album was sick. Like, okay, look, story time. KOD dropped right that weekend. I happened to be going to Rolling Loud. He wasn't even listed as a headliner yet.
Mm-hmm.
He was the surprise headliner. So I'm going into the week of, and all of a sudden, the week before, his album drops. So I didn't listen to it. I know listen to every word, right? So I go to Rolling Loud. I have VIP bracelet, right? I watch him perform. I watch the whole thing. I'm lit. I'm like, yeah, I watched him perform. Blah 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 blah. Boom. So then I go back to my room. I change. I put on some clothes. You know what I'm saying for the
Mm-hmm.
club. I go to the club. Originally, I go to this other club, the one that everybody was suggesting, but it was $100 to get in. It was DJ Khaled. I'm like, I ain't finna go pay $100 to see DJ Khaled. He
Yeah.
don't even rap. He don't do nothing. He's just there. So I'm like, man, let me see what else. And then this other girl, this girl behind me in line, she's like, yeah, I'm not finna pay $100. But I think dudes was like 120 and girls was like 100. So I'm like, man, I'm like, yo, where y'all finna go? Like, shoot, man, I think I'm finna go see J. Cole. And I was like, oh, he here? So I end up in this strip club called 11.
Yeah.
So I go down to the strip club, man, dude, like J. Cole was right here, right next to me, just standing there, like in the club. Nobody was even paying attention to him. And I had like a brief little casual conversation with J. Cole, and I didn't realize like it was J. Cole because I
Mm-hmm.
forgot what I seen, and I was like, yo, what are they doing? And he was like, I don't even know, man. Like he's such a regular, like he had such a regular
Yeah.
response. Like,
Yeah.
and I was surprised he responded to me because I kind of was just like talking out loud, you know what I'm saying? And I was just kind of just talking, and he was just there, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't even know, man." Like, and then it turned around, he came right back out because he had the same blue shirt on, and he stood on top of the thing, and I have it recorded, whatever. And I just pointed at him. I'm like, and he just shook his head at me. I'm like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I see, because he could see I realized like who he was now because it was kind of dark in that corner. Like I wasn't like looking a nigga in the eyes or no shit. There's way too many people in the club, and there was just mad like naked women everywhere and stuff. It's a fucking strip club. Like I ain't gonna look a man in the eye in a strip club. That's weird. But I was just like, damn, like, and then he performed more KLD stuff, and I'm like, this album was good. So that's my memory that I associate with that album. Like I hold that album like dear to my heart, just
Yeah.
because I have all that with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like that. I don't know if you knew, but like the album name stands for three different things, and I think that's just so genius. Like it
Mm-hmm.
has three different meanings. That's
Yeah,
insane. Kids on drugs, king overdose, and kill our demons. Like that's he's just so he's a genius. Like he's a musical genius and
yeah,
definitely underrated and deserves way more credit and shine than he gets. Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so we skipped over it, but we can go back to her real quick. So Beyonce,
Oh
what
man.
albums are her classic albums? Because it can't be all of them, right? But what
I
is
don't
her
know.
classic?
Honestly, I think you have to. I can't. I personally can't define what her classic albums are, but I can tell you what my favorite albums are of hers because I feel like it's different for each person. But
But so okay, so look, and this is part of why I'm having a discussion. A classic album is, to me, like just base level, the mass preponderance of listeners, whether in your genre or not, would listen to that album and go, yeah, that's some good music right there.
yeah. So I personally I love there's so man for Beyonce, Lemonade, all three of them albums. Man, you can't like I
That is a nasty little run though. I'm not even gonna
like
lie.
I am Sasha Fierce like that. Almost every last one of these songs are on the radio.
Yeah, because four is crazy because it's Love on Top,
Yeah,
Party with Andre 3000. Then you also have a version of Party that has J. Cole, which is
Dance
crazy.
for You,
Dance for You,
One Plus
uh,
One,
One Plus
Best
One.
Thing I Never Had,
Yeah,
Run the
Run
World.
the World.
Fuck. Oh, the
Yeah,
end of time.
yeah. End of Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
So
That's
I am Sasha
nasty.
Fierce. That's another one. Jesus. If I Were a Boy, Halo. Wow. Single Ladies, Diva. Man.
Yeah, because then you got an album like when you look at what you got freaking with Beyonce, it's 7-Eleven, Flawless,
Yeah.
the Drunken Love remix,
Yes.
uh
Partition.
then you Heaven, because ain't
Super.
Heaven that beautiful song?
Huh? Yeah.
Well, I don't.
Yep.
It's a really beautiful song. Yeah, and then you got Drunken Love, Pretty
There's
Hurts,
so many. There's so many. So many.
Partition, Mine with Drake. Like,
There's so many.
yeah, Flawless. Yeah,
Insane.
yeah, that.
Insane. Then
And
you
then
move on to
Lemonade,
Man, when
huh?
Lemonade came out, listen. And then that's when she came out with that visual. Jesus.
Yeah, that visual album is tough. Like to this day, that
Yeah.
that visual album is tough. That's tough. That's
It literally makes the album that much better.
yeah, yeah.
Literally.
Them visuals is tough. Like, and she had one to every song, and it was tough.
Man, listen. Listen. I went to DC had a karaoke night and it was dedicated to just Beyonce. Okay.
Oh, that's
We
tough.
literally it was just Beyonce songs and every song went crazy. Like I think I did sorry. Yeah, I did sorry. And the whole club was crazy over some Beyonce. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And honestly, now that her Renaissance album is out, I can't stop listening to that damn album. It is a
Bro,
banger.
my brother judged me because I was like, yo, bro, like, no, this album is good, bro.
It is a good album.
Like, he would judge because I had more listen time of that album than I did like J. Cole's album, than Kendrick's album. I had more listen time on the Beyonce album. I
So
was
did
like,
I.
look,
Mine
I
scored in
said
the top 5 albums. Yeah.
I said, look, y'all can say whatever y'all want to about me. That album is good.
It's good music. It's good
That is a
music. Yeah.
really good album. Like there's no part of that album that's bad. Like none. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's
Yeah.
nothing about that album when I heard it, when I looked at it, that I was like, you know what? Like this ain't like nah, like not like every record, and then the production and how it flows into each record flows into the next one was next level. It was next level. It was the freaking honestly, if people want to make better albums, a lot of these artists want to make some money, study that album, go listen to it. Like
Mhm.
what she
Yeah.
did there was that's masterclass. That's masterful. Just like I would say, even though like I was arguing with my brother, I said it does not have the best listenability, which Kendrick always has had that problem. But
Uh-huh.
his most recent album, artistically speaking, is really good, and it gets its point across. Like you can't listen to that album and not soul search. Like that album makes you look yourself in the face, and you know, kind of question yourself and your decision making, and not it makes you want to be better. Because the whole
Mhm.
album, he's just breaking himself down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, man, but uh, yeah. But I would say, do you think any of these new kids is gonna have classic albums?
What
Because
what new kids are you referring to?
so,
Because um
'cause I'm thinking
Kalani, man, we forgot to say Kalani. Kalani is another one. Jesus.
Kehlani
Kalani
nasty too. Hey, that the sweet, what
catalog,
is it? I think it's Sweet Sexy Savage, right? Is
her
that
catalog is insane. Let me tell you something. I went to bed one night listening to her music and woke up in the morning 8 hours later. Her music was still playing. She has so much music.
is it Sweet Sexy Savage that I like that? I do like that album, but no, that's not the one. The one that I like the most is You Should Be Here. That one, I don't know why she went off the way she did, but she did.
I love me some Kehlani. Like,
Like,
I don't know. It's something about her like voice and her. I can literally listen to her all day. But as far as new kids, who we talking about?
okay, so new kids. When I say new kids, I'm talking about people that's came out in the last like 4 to 5 years, like 4 to 5 years, like I would not say like an artist like for instance like LMA, like no, she's a good artist. Like
Yeah.
she's gonna get her one. She's gonna get her one.
Mhm.
She's gonna
Mhm.
get her one. Like I don't doubt it. Uh her already has one because her
Yeah.
that dual them EPs that she was dropping that she turned into an album that were actually an album together. That album R&B wise is a nasty beat. That
Yeah.
Yeah, that album is really good. Even though I give her a lot of shit for being Grammy nominated every year, with whether or not she puts out an album that year or not, I still find that fucking crazy. But
Same here. Same here.
but she is good. She is good. I'm not saying you ain't good. Um, I think when I say new kids, when I think about new kids, I'm thinking about like your little Uzi Verts, even people like Trippy. What you got like Trippy Red, you got Young Nudie, you got like 21 Savage, you got a lot of people just sound like what's his name? You got Joyner Lucas, you got like people like I'm trying to think like people that are in that class. They came out like Anderson Paak is in that class, but he's way better than them. Like he's a really good artist. Anderson Paak is a really good artist. He just over. I think his problem is, and why he doesn't have mass appeal is because he's too artistic. Like
Mm.
he makes music that's too musical. Like it's too good. It's too technically it's too right. Like musically. Like I think a lot of good music is technically like wrong in a way. Like if you're talking about musical technique wise, like if you're talking about note sheets and all that, like Anderson Park music is correct, but when you it's listening wise, it's just I guess maybe overproduced in a way.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because even when you listen to like the one that him and Bruno Mars did together, right?
Mhm.
It's not a bad album. Silk Sonic is a good
Yeah.
album.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not like I try to get into these new artists. I don't really know any of these people you just listed, but I guess if I had to choose anyone, I feel like might be considered classic. It might it might be Chloe and Halle Bailey. They're pretty talented. I don't really like the direction that Chloe's going in, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
Um, I liked when
Same.
I liked when her and her sister had a unique sound and nobody else sounded like them. I feel
Hmm.
like I hate to say it and I hate to agree with everybody, but I do feel like they're trying to make Chloe the next Beyonce, and she's losing her unique identity, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I don't like that, but because now she's so mainstream, I can see her having for this generation being a classic album. I can see it. I can see that.
Yeah, because she does have the talent and ability to do it. It's just whether or not she does it.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Now, do I think the one that she's finna drop is finna be like absolutely phenomenal? Nah, I think it'll be okay. I think it's gonna be.
Yeah,
I
I
think. I
agree.
think. I think it's gonna be okay. I think it's
I
gonna be
agree.
between some. It's gonna be better than Reggie, but it's gonna still be a mid pack. Like
I agree.
it's gonna be
But the
packed.
girl is like she can sing her ass off. She has a
Yeah.
stage presence. I just think I really just miss the old Chloe. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Other than
Yeah.
that, as far as new artists, I'm not. I'll hear some good music and stuff. Like thanks to TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok keeps me hip. There have definitely been quite a few songs that have stood out to me and stay in rotation.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know enough new artists to like just off the top of my head be like, yeah, that would be a classic. You know what I'm saying?
Like for instance, like new artist wise, you talking about like you got your Megan the Stallions, you got the babies,
Oh,
like
Megan Thee Stallion is definitely she is already there. She definitely gonna be in the top artists for sure. And then I guess you can add in Young Miami, City Girls. No,
mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
they have a very
Definitely the City Girls, like a classic album. Mm-mm,
but they have
no.
a very unique sound though. Like
They have a
nobody else
unique
looks like City
sound.
Girls.
Don't get me wrong. They have a unique sound, and I love them together. I'd like them making music, but a classic album, no, no, no. I don't think in 5 to 6 years, if we're sitting here, if it's not for their personality, that we will be talking about them. If it's not for antics, we'll be talking about them. Now, to go back to Meg the Stallion has all the talent in the world. Like
Yeah,
the girl can actually rap.
she
My
can.
my problem is her albums don't be hitting the way her freestyles do. Like the way that she like comes off and like raps and all that stuff when she's just having fun with it versus just putting out and that's what I want to give her credit for on her last album that she put out
Hmm.
was she actually put some of those in there. I
Yeah.
think what is it? Something for the hotties. She
Hmm.
just put it together and had fun with it. That actually sound better than them the last two because Good News is terrible. Like because it has like one of the worst songs I ever heard. Like that sing me to sleep, blah 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 blah. Like whatever lullaby mess that she tried to do. No, just don't sing. Then her album before that one it was good, but it has a couple downers, like a couple records that drag the overall body of work down. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these classic albums, there aren't songs that drag the body of work down. They're just album cuts. Like I'm okay with you having a couple bangers and album cuts and it being a classic album. Like that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like there's levels to classic. There's levels. But at the same time, like I don't think she's there yet, but I think it's partially because all the stuff she has going on in her life just in general. Like it's hard to piece something like that together unless you're freaking Kanye West and you drop Dark Twisted Fantasy. Like like that album's just good.
Hmm.
Like that album's just good.
Hmm.
Like like man, every time that little piano start playing, doom, doom, a runaway, like I'm like, hey, I automatically like, hey, I'm ready, just drop the beat, let's go.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I think if they stop, a lot of people, I think they're so caught up with trying to make hits
Yeah.
that's the problem.
I
Like,
agree with
stop
that.
trying to make hits and just make good records.
Yeah.
The people gonna hear it and it's gonna stick. When you look at like a record, for instance, Under the Influence, great example. It was just a cut off the deluxe. There was no video for it or nothing. He just said, here's some more music.
Yeah.
When I already gave y'all a 40 pack, this makes it a 50 pack. Here y'all go. And all
Hmm.
of a sudden, like when I go back and listen, I'm like, yo, there's cuts on this album. When I go back to Heartbreak on a Full Moon, there's cuts on that album. Like he consistently delivers great cuts to where you're like, yo, these are bangers. Um, And even with Breezy, even though I didn't stay on Breezy as long as I did the other two, like it has cuts on there, and I won't be surprised if sometime later somebody on TikTok makes something go. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think a lot of these newer artists, outside of being like popular a little bit and like having a record, they're gonna have actual albums that's like Cola Ray not making no damn good album.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's not finna fucking do it.
Oh, I can't stand that girl. I can't
Like
stand.
she's not finna do it. She's not finna do it. Like she cool, but like somebody. Oh, okay. New girl that I believe has a classic album and will always be doing it. Doja Cat. That girl is way more talented than her peers.
Mm-hmm.
Way more talented.
Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
peer group is like Meg the Stallion and all of them. That's her peer group. She's
Mm-hmm.
way more. It's not even close. Like Doja Cat is nasty.
Yeah.
Like like nah. Nah, that woman album, that got mad records on there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then the one before that one, what is it? The Amalia, whatever the heck that was. Mad records on there. Mad records. Her stuff, she gonna end up having a classic. Off the woman album, she gonna end up having a classic. That might end up being her classic. We guys got to give it a little bit more time, but because what is it? What is it? What is that on there? Let's see. It's boom. Oh shoot! I still got Kehlani halfway typed in. Uh, all right. So on Planet Her. That's what it's called. The album's called Planet Her. That's right. She had Woman on there. Get into it. Yeah. Need to know. You right. Ain't shit. Oh, this ain't even the one with Streets on there. Kiss Me More with SZA. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. 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 That one's gonna end up going. Then the Hot Pink, that's the one where she went crazy because that's the one that has why does this deluxe have so many records on here? Anyway, Cyber Sex, Won't Bite, Rules, Bottom Bitch, Say So, and Say So was annoying. Say So was so then everywhere I went, like I heard it in Macy's. I was like, oh, this what we doing. Like this what we doing. Like that with Gucci Man. What is it? Addiction, Streets. You got Juicy with Tiger. Like, yeah, hold on, that's Juicy. But Streets was its own thing. Everybody did the little silhouette challenge to this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have what is this? Have you heard that song before? Nope. Nope.
No.
Oh, that's interesting. But I think you've heard this one. Yes, no?
I'm not really familiar with Doja Cat's music.
Okay. That's
I've heard a lot about her, but I mean, other than like the popular ones on the radio, I'm not really familiar with her music like that.
okay. Yeah. She's nasty. Yeah, she's nasty. She's nasty with it, man. She's nasty. Like yeah, cause yeah. She's way more talented than her peers. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's about it. But I think we broadly agree that these young cats ain't got it. Like
Yeah,
they
pretty
ain't
much.
got, they ain't got it. They ain't got it. Um, So, oh yeah, I did want to ask you right before we go. What's your
Mhm.
what's your number one? What's like your favorite album? Like your number, like if you had to pick one album that's your that's your go to. Like you got if you're in the whip, you got to cut something on. What's your go to? You're in the house, wherever your main place to listen to music is. What's your number one? Like, this is my go-to. This is what I'm putting on.
Shea Butter Baby by Ari Lennox. I
Okay.
literally listen. I listen to that album once a week. I'm not lying to you.
Yeah, yeah. Shea Butter Baby got records on there. It
Yeah,
does. It does. As much as I gave it shit for not having enough time, it's gonna go. It's gonna. I was just being an asshole. It's gonna go. It's gonna go. It's gonna stand up there. It's gonna stand up there. Like
that's another underrated artist.
that's another. I think a lot of people's classic albums are also their statement albums, like where you realize, like, yo, okay, this person's not going nowhere. Like they're here. Like like if you listen to Drake, right, and you listen to So Far Gone, then you listen to Thank Me Later. It's like, oh, okay, he's cool.
Yeah,
Take Care was like, oh yeah, this is the guy. He's here. Like like Take Care made you go, okay, this is that guy. This is that guy. You know what I'm saying? Um, because I'm trying to think like even with Beyonce, like all her other albums, they're good. They're really good or whatever, right? They're not bad. She don't have bad albums.
hmm
But that four, like we said, that album's nasty.
yeah,
That album's absolutely nasty.
yeah.
You knew at that moment, okay, that's Queen B. You know
hmm
what I'm saying? Like that's like, oh, we ain't even mentioned her, like Nicki Minaj. Like does she have a classic album?
I used to be a Nicki Minaj fan, and then once I
Does
found
she?
out about how she really is, I stopped listening to her music. But I do like her. I like 2000, early 2000s Nicki.
So hold on. What would okay of her albums? Because I don't want to like of her. Oh, she don't have that many. So what is her classic album? What Pink Friday?
Pink
Uh,
Friday, definitely,
there's
definitely
the
Pink
Pink
Friday.
Print, then there's Queen, and then there's okay, yeah.
I would
So
definitely say Pink Friday. With when I think Nicki Minaj, I think her Blueprint album is Pink Friday.
okay, hold on, let's see. Okay, hold on. Where's wait a minute.
Moment for Life, yeah. Super Bass.
Pink Friday, what? How many
Go to
times
the
did she release
go
this
to
album?
go to the complete edition, the one that came out in 2010.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you have Romance Revenge with Eminem. Did it on him. Did it on him. Did it
yeah.
on him. Those like it's
Fly
two
with
versions.
Rihanna.
Fly with Rihanna.
Moment for
Moment
Life
for
with
Life.
Drake. Yeah.
Uh, Your Love.
hmm
Your Love.
Super Bass.
Yeah. Boom 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 boom. boom. Oh man. Why is Bedrock on here? Like I'm looking at the complete edition. I was like, why? What is Bedrock?
Yeah.
I can't mention
I mean, she's
Bedrock.
a feature on there. But yeah,
Huh?
she's featured on there. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That was yeah. Pink Friday for sure.
hmm
Pink Friday for sure. I can get behind that. I can get behind that. Yeah, I can get with that. I can get with Pink Friday.
yeah,
Damn. Yeah, yeah. And I think all of our like big artists that are still here, like they're gonna stay here. Um, yeah, I think next time we do a musical discussion, I think I want to get into like more like different types of artists. Because now we didn't talk about like mainstream artists or whatever. I do kind of want to get into like the niche, more like niche people. Like for instance, like your Frank Oceans. He's niche. He's a very niche person, but he's fucking good. Like he's mainstream because he's that good. It's not
Mhm.
that he is mainstream, if that makes sense. Like his music doesn't sound like everybody else. He's not trying to compete. He's
Yeah,
just that good.
yeah,
He kind of reminds me of like in that respect, like a Prince. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's just putting out music and it's that good.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think Prince ran around trying to make hits. I think he just loved making music and was just doing it.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's there's levels to artistry in that respect. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. I want to thank, you know what I'm saying, thank my boy Larry for coming through. You know what I'm saying? Even though he couldn't make it to the end, God bless his phone and charger, what I'm saying? But anyway, I want to thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a good one. We out.